Virtue is not an action. It is a noun. And why does this matter? When we seek to be virtuous through action, what we're actually doing is becoming the adversary or the resistance against the very thing that is holding us in bondage. Therefore, we're strengthening the resistance and we're strengthening the bond with the thing that we are trying to escape. Let's take addiction, for example. We could say drugs and alcohol, or we could also say Netflix or Instagram likes. If we're attempting to be virtuous, which indeed is a high quality state to live in, then the action of that, by forcing ourselves not to consume alcohol or drugs, or not to watch Netflix or be addicted to Instagram, then what happens is we reinforce that false bondage, and it actually perpetuates the problem. So how do you fix it? Rather than attempting to be virtuous, you realize the false belief that the alcohol, for example, is going to soothe the problem. We seek these things because we're not comfortable sitting in our own consciousness or being with ourselves. So as we learn to be with ourselves and we have these urges to do things, we sit with those and we realize that they are false. We realize that the bondage itself is false, that whatever you perceive, whether that's an emotion, a feeling, an urge, a desire, or even what you perceive with your eyes, is false. So in knowing that it's false, you become virtuous by not reacting to something that was never real. The reaction creates the loop. And then as you continue to react, and then you try to force yourself not to react by being virtuous, by trying not to drink or trying not to use drugs or do whatever your addiction is, by trying to stop that loop, you're actually putting more force into it and giving it more power as a pendulum to come back and keep hitting you again and again and again. That's why when you've tried to stop a particular addiction, it's been really hard. The answer and the true way to become virtuous is not by trying to act virtuous as a verb, but to realize the falseness of the bondage that creates the reaction. So as you sit and you have this urge to do something that is harmful to you, you need to sit with that feeling and see that it itself is not you. It is not the core essence of who you are. And you watch it, you observe it, you hold consciousness through it. And that will melt away the urge, which then takes away the reaction. And the result of that is you become virtuous. So all too often, we believe that virtue is about choosing to do the right things. But in truth, virtue is the result of seeing the wrong things as false.